Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Som365 Channel Morning News. Former military chief Adan Dahir Indokasha said on Wednesday, Somalia's army is capable of taking over the security responsibility of the country after the scheduled withdrawal of African Union peacekeepers in December. In an interview, Indokasha expressed confidence in the readiness of the Somalia armed. Regarding the ATMIS drawdown, the PSC is expected to welcome the completion of Phase 2 and urge ATMIS and the FGS to make all necessary preparations for the next phase of the drawdown, involving the withdrawal of 4,000 troops by 30th June 2024. There is a dangerous level of criminal activity by armed militia throughout Somalia. There have been murders, armed robbery, and criminal kidnaps. The humanitarian situation in Somalia has led to a large displacement of people and a growth in refugee camps, which are overpopulated. In a desperate move to spare the son from execution, the family of Sayyid Ali Mualim Dawood, a man who was sentenced to death for the murder of his wife by burning her alive, have made a stunning offer to pay blood money to the father of the victim's late husband after her family rejected the proposal. The case, which sent shockwaves throughout the country and captured national attention late last year, has reignited conversations about justice, accountability, and the rights of victims. The family of Lulu Abdiasis, who was burned to death by her husband, rejected several offers of blood money despite pressure and the threats of violence, insisting that they only want the perpetrator to be executed by firing squad. Since Sayyid Ali's conviction for the crime of burning his wife alive during a domestic altercation, his family has tirelessly campaigned for leniency and mercy, arguing that his decision to set his own wife on fire was not the actual cause of her death. Despite their pleas, however, the courts have remained steadfast in their decision to uphold the death penalty, citing the severity of the offense and the need for justice to be served. Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed and the leaders of the regional states agreed on staying in power beyond their constitutional terms. Opposition figure and the presidential envoy for drought, Abdirahman Abdishakur, said in a statement. In a press conference held in Mogadishu, Abdishakur said authorities will lose their legitimacy if they fail to hold delayed regional elections on time. He urged President Mohamud to appoint a new charismatic prime minister who could lead the country forward in the next 1.5 years remaining for his term in office. The opposition leader pointed finger at government's failure to defeat Al-Shabaab, provide essential public services, help communities displaced by floods, and flaws in foreign policy, including Somalia's move to vote against UN resolution on Serbia's genocide. Southwest state authorities on Saturday disapproved an announcement by Somalia National Security Advisor Hussein Sheikh Ali that Mogadishu will kick out Ethiopian troops once their mandate ends in December. The regional state, accused of the federal government of disseminating misinformation, strongly protested the scheduled pullout of Ethiopian forces in what many described as a bold move to side with Ethiopia amid allegations that Addis Ababa is violating the sovereignty and territorial integrity of its neighbor. Somali National Security Advisor told a local radio station on Saturday that no Ethiopian troops will remain in the country after December 2024, and that Mogadishu is negotiating with its international partners that about 10,000 peacekeepers from Uganda, Burundi, Djibouti, and Kenya stay beyond their mandate until January 2026 to help prevent a possible Al-Shabaab takeover over the conflict-torn nation. Somalia's Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Bare on Monday attended the 2024 South Korea African Summit in Seoul. His office said days after he arrived in the East Asian nation, country in his first official state visit. The summit is focusing the future we make together, aims to foster shared growth, sustainability, and solidarity among African nations, the office of the Somali Premier tweeted. Somalia's government will consider Ethiopia as an ally in advancing peace in the volatile Horn of Africa region, as long as Addis Ababa continues violating our sovereignty and territorial integrity, the National Security Advisor Hussein Sheikh Ali said on Saturday. Sheikh Ali's comments come a day after he said that Mogadishu will kick out all Ethiopian troops operating in Somalia once the mandate ends by the end of December, while forces from other ATMIS troops contributing countries including Kenya, Djibouti, Burundi and Uganda will remain in the country until January 2026. This year, Somali pilgrims are complaining about the poor service provided by the Somali government. According to Som365 channel, members of the pilgrims who spoke to us, a pilgrim talked about the problems they are having in the places set up by the Ministry of Endowment and Religious Affairs of the Somali government, which has taken responsibility during the Hajj. The pilgrims who spoke to us said that there are no good hotels and they are facing severe heat in the city of Makkah, whose climate is very hot. And that's the news. I am Barak Juma of Som365 channel, Nairobi. You can catch us on our social media platforms as well as our website www.som365.tv.